It's just a huge honor today to be sitting at my dining room table with a friend of mine for 6 years, Mike Pedersen. We both live in Phoenix, Arizona, and you have been tearing it up with thedentalboost.com for 6 years. Tell us about and you have a podcast. What's your what's your podcast called?
Well, I'm going to be uploading all my episodes to Dentaltown based on what you just told me.
Well, and what I just told him is really, really bizarre. So on Dentaltown, I did the first post. Now there's like 5 million posts. I started, I did the first blog. Now there's like 2,500 bloggers. I started podcasting mainly because I needed to start that genre on Dentaltown. And so now I don't really even have to podcast anymore. I started that genre. There's like 20 podcasts listed. But what's amazing is like how to open a dental office. This guy's posted 112 blogs and it has 671,000 views. He's going to hit 1 million views.
That's insane.
And I was telling you before you start, I wish you'd put your podcast on there because when I'm out there lecturing and talking to dentists, so many dentists found other podcasts other than mine by the Dentaltown app. And so they got their smartphone, they're on the way to work, and they can't hear me one more time withoat throwing up, puking, driving off a bridge. So they or they scroll down.
So they search.
They search.
Yep.
And what is your blog called?
What do you mean my podcast?
Your podcast.
Your Dental Success.
Your Dental Success.
That's the name of it.
So you're
38 episodes, something like that.
Your Dental Success.
Yep.
And I'm just curious. And then your website is The Dental Boost.
Yes.
But you didn't want to name your podcast after The Dental Boost?
No, I don't know why I didn't, but Your Dental Success, I bought the domain name.
Oh, okay.
And I liked it. Your Dental Success. I just benefit, I'm a marketer.
Yeah.
The benefit, right? The benefit to listening to this is dental success. So that was why I picked it.
So what would you say? So Mike Pedersen is the founder of the Dental Boost, a custom website design and SEO search engine optimization agency helping dentists attract high-value patients more consistently. Mike has 17 years of online marketing experience, having built a 7-figure online business by himself before transitioning to offline working exclusively with dentists for the past 6 years. Mike in his free time is a fitness nut, working out 6 to 7 days a week for the past 35 years. So you're building websites and doing SEO for existing websites.
Yes.
So tell us what you do, what's working, what's not.
Well, it might go way beyond our time today, but there's a lot happening in Google right now. And what the big thing that we're focusing on, and we totally did a pivot with our SEO company, totally did a pivot. I brought a gentleman on who's an MIT graduate, very lucky. I met him in a very elite peer group of SEO guys in the country. And he was telling me what he was doing. And this was about 6 months ago. And I was like, what? I'd never heard of this before. And so I said, we need to talk. And I spent 4 days on Skype vetting him. 4 days on Skype. 4 days. Just grilled him. And I said, would you be willing to come on my team exclusively for dentists? Because he is the only one that works with dentists because it's me. And he said, absolutely. So I got the exclusive with him in dentistry. This guy is just phenomenal. Anyway, so what we did was I picked his brain. We reverse engineered dental SEO. We reverse it. We flipped it on its head. And here's why. So people use Google. They have a problem and they're searching for a solution. That's why they use Google. That's why everybody uses Google. You have a problem, you search for a solution. In dentistry, the problem necessarily isn't Ahwatukee dentist. The problem could be, or the solution you're looking for could be cost of Invisalign Ahwatukee, right? So instead of Ahwatukee dentist, which is we call those a general term, we're going after all those specific, we call them buyer intent. We named them buyer intent. I named them buyer intent. And they're phrases that we've used Google Tools to come up with thousands and thousands, Howard, thousands of buyer intent dental keyword phrases. So what we found out was that when people use Google now, they realize after all these years, the more specific search they put in that search bar, the better the result, right? And they're going to save more time not hitting the back button and adding more words. People know that now. And do you search that way?
Yeah, and I read that Google said that the length of the search consistently grows like 5, 6, 7% a year. since they started. It's no longer just dentist. It's like you say, it's a sentence, it's a phrase.
Right. So people are a lot smarter now, and they don't want to waste their time. People are impatient, and we'll talk about websites too, as far as what's happening with people on websites. They're impatient. So we did our research, and we came up with 5,300 dental keyword phrases that are buyer intent, over 5,000.
And I notice more that the search might be going longer because I see a lot of people doing voice search.
Oh,
So they're talking to them. They're saying, "Is there a dentist in Ahwatukee who's good with children?"
You hit on a topic I was going to bring up: voice search. Over 50% of local searches are on mobile devices, and on the mobile device, more and more people are using voice search. And when you do voice search, you don't go Ahwatukee dentist. Like that's, I mean, you might, and there might be higher search volume for that, but we call that a not qualified buyer for a dentist. Those are people that are still in research mode. If they land on a non-mobile optimized website, they're gone. They'll never come back. If they have a bad experience on your mobile site, they're out of there.
Okay, I'm here to just ask questions. Explain to my homies what a mobile. What do you say?
Okay, mobile optimized. Yeah, I talk fast.
Non-mobile optimized.
Yes.
Site.
So
how would he know on his iPhone if his site is?
Because when you take a website, and most of the websites now, 50% of dental websites are not mobile optimized. A dentist says, well, no, mine's optimized. Look, here's my website on my phone, and that's their website, and they went like this, and you can't read any words, and you have to spend all day going like this to read any words on it. When you land on a mobile optimized website, the font's bigger, phone number's bigger. You know it right when you get on it. It's very easy to use, and you can scroll very quickly and find out where they're located. Hopefully, some of the mobile dental websites do not have the maps on their mobile homepage, which is a huge mistake. Huge mistake.
What's the huge mistake?
They don't have a map on their mobile homepage. A map, a location.
Okay.
Where is that dental practice located? If somebody's searching on their phone, don't you think one of the first things they want to know is, well, where do I got to go to get to them? Get to them. I shouldn't say him. Get to them. They want to see a map. If they scroll a little bit and don't see a map, when you irritate somebody that's on your website, they're gone. They say, you know what, I'm done with this website. Back button, go to the next one. They'll go to your competitor. They'll hire your competitor. So map and clickable phone number are the two most important things on a mobile website. Your map, clickable phone number, and then number 3 would be your hours. You're off, because that's what people want to know on the mobile device, right? But you make a really good point on voice-activated search. They're talking into their phone. You don't go Ahwatukee dentist. That's like robotic. You would say that, like the phrase you said, or cost of Invisalign, Ahwatukee. You would say phrases that come to your mind. And when people, even on their desktop, they type searched phrases as the words come to them. And so what happens is sometimes those phrases aren't even grammatically, they don't even make sense. Like you might go, Ahwatukee dentist, male, remove my sore tooth, or I've got a chipped tooth. And you go, what's that? But it's the way the words came to that searcher as they were typing, and they're not going to change it. They're just going to do it, hit, and hope that they're going to get a good result, right? And we call those buyer intent. Now, a lot of SEO companies that hear this talk today are going to say, oh, he's just going after long tail. And I brought an article for you, and you can read it on your own. But what I want you to look at is the image we created. It's on my website. And if you get your glasses or whatever, because I don't have my glasses, so I can't read them. But that is a very impacting image that basically says everything we do in one image right there. And here's the old image for what typical SEO companies go for, which is basically everybody for the last 5 or 10 years in search, especially in dentistry, they all go after what we call the ego terms. Ahwatukee dentist, Ahwatukee orthodontist, Ahwatukee Invisalign, Ahwatukee veneers, right? But we call those general phrases. The search volume might be a little higher on those, but they're not qualified searchers. But if somebody typed in, I'll repeat it again, cost of Invisalign, Ahwatukee, that's somebody that's very interested in Invisalign. They want to know how much it costs. If we can get our clients ranked for all of those buyer intent, even if they don't happen as much as those general phrases, we're going to bring them a more qualified visitor right off the bat. And we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds for every what we call specialty. And this specialty would be Invisalign, orthodontics, dental implants, sedation, sleep apnea, wisdom teeth. Those are what we call specialties. And what we're helping our clients do now is let them pick their specialty, and they hire us to help them attract those types of patients. So if we've got a dentist in Washington, he just got certified in Invisalign, got real excited, heard one of our podcasts, reached out to me and said, Mike, can you help me get Invisalign patients? He's in Wenatchee, Washington, a smaller area. Within 4 weeks, got his first call for an Invisalign within 4 weeks. And in dental SEO, it can take 6 months to a year to get any rankings because everybody's going after the general terms. It makes it very competitive, right? So unfortunately, there are a lot of dentists that are going to be listening to this or watching this that have had some not very good experiences with SEO companies. So when they hear SEO, they cringe. And I have calls all day, every day, in that uphill battle of trying to reassure them that let me explain what we do, you'll get it, you'll understand it, and you'll get excited about it. But when they think of their past experience with SEO, they had companies possibly that went 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, no results. Because they were going after all the competitive phrases. We take the competitive phrases, they're there for us, but our focus is on that image I showed you. It's on everything else.
The long tail.
The long tail and the middle, what we call the buyer intent. And that's why it equals hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of phrases. We have a client right now in California that has 1,036 top 3 rankings in Google right now. 1,036. That's kind of dominating your area, right? Now, and even if those phrases are very specific, we know that as time goes on, he's going to get all those phone calls when somebody does type it in. So that's the issue with our approach. It's still, SEO is a long-term game. It is. But if you can't get rankings for 6 months or a year, that's going to get you nothing. We're able to get rankings within 4 to 6 weeks. In 4 weeks, we're able to get about 200 phrases ranked for them.
So every time a dentist sends me an email, I always hit reply, and then I right-click the name to see if he's in my contact. If he's in my contact, I open it up, and I look at the website, and so I go to the website, and I want to see if he's in New Jersey or where he's at. How would you describe the average dental website that you see? They're pretty lame, aren't they?
Do you want me to be honest?
Absolutely. This is Dentistry Uncensored.
Cookie cutter, duplicate content, stock images, no branding, not optimized for Google, not optimized for conversions.
And what's funny is most of them don't even have an email address. They have like a little box form. And almost every single time I type in the deal and then I hit send and it doesn't even work.
Right.
It's like, my God, you got a website.
Outdated, not...
And it doesn't work.
It's not functional, it's outdated, but and worse off, it's not even built for Google best practices. Most of the websites, a lot of the big dental marketing companies do this. It's all the cookie cutter websites, but I'll give a great tip for the listeners. So in the bottom of your website, we call that the footer. And typically in web design, it might even be a different color, so it really stands out. Remove all of the links to all your service pages in the footer. Remove them all.
To the service pages?
To all the service pages. And what happens is...
What's a service page?
Veneers, implants, sedation, sleep apnea, teeth whitening, all... In dentistry, there's typically 15 to 20 service pages, typically. But when you look at a footer at the bottom of a lot of dental websites, there's like 40 links at the bottom. 40 links. Okay, that is saturating the power of your homepage in Google's eyes. You've got the links in the top. The typical website has what we call a top navigation. And there's typically like 4 or 5 links, and it could be home, about, services, location, contact us, right? And under services would be what we call your pull-down menu, and that could be cosmetic, oral, surgery, all those things, and then it just goes down from there. You've got all your links on your homepage. Do not put them duplicate on the bottom of your website. That saturates the power of your homepage immediately. And a lot of the websites have that.
Saturates the power.
Yeah. So the more links you have on your homepage, shooting off your homepage, that takes away a little bit of the SEO juice off your homepage. You want that homepage is the key to your kingdom for your dental practice in your area, your homepage. And so that homepage should not have 30, 40, 50, 60 links sending people off of the homepage, right? It should have all the links you need, but all the links are in the top navigation. You don't need to put them in the footer anymore. And Google doesn't like seeing footers that are that big with all these website links to internal pages.
So what do you so when you say you have like 5,000 long tail phrases?
Yeah.
So you're basically, to do this, you actually build their website. Is that what you recommend?
No. If they've got a website if they've got a website built by some of the bigger companies, it's on the bigger companies' proprietary platforms, and these poor dentists don't realize they don't own their websites. And I've done a couple of podcasts recently with some very well-known dentists that have had some really bad experiences with some of the big companies, because these dentists, go to some, conference, go to the expo, whip out their credit card and hire one of the companies that build a cookie cutter proprietary platform website. If and when you want to leave a lot of those big companies, you're starting over from zero. You don't own the website, you don't own the content. I want to get the word out that if a dentist is considering a dental website moving forward after this podcast, ask questions like, if I want to take this website, can I take it with me? Do I own it? And then if they hesitate, there's an issue right there. If the answer isn't right away, there's a problem. If they say, well, it's built on our proprietary platform, but it makes it easy for you to update, still a red flag. Because that means if and when you want to leave, they own the website, they own the content, they own everything. You're starting over again. And I hate to say that, and I'm not going to mention names, but dentists need to know.
Mention names.
No.
Oh my God.
No, I can't.
I was born to throw people under buses.
I can't, and some of them probably could be huge advertisers for you, so I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I know. I actually hurt more sales for Dentaltown because I won't suck up to a shitty product. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I've lost so many advertisements. It's incredible.
But it makes you authentic. It makes you real.
I know what I'm saying. I found this horrible company on an ad in Dentaltown, or some guy you podcasted, or things like that. So talk them to your average client. What is the average client? So they call you up. They say, they always want more new patients.
Sure.
I don't think I've ever met a dentist who didn't want more new patients.
Correct.
So talk cases. What is your average dentist? He calls you up, and then you look at this website. Out of 100, what percent of the time would you say, yeah, your website's good, we'll just do SEO? What percent of the time do you look at it and say, start from scratch? What just like an MBA school? Yeah. Give us some case studies.
I would say that probably 70% of the websites we can't work on because they're on those platforms. We just can't, because we upload a lot of content on the back end for us. That's part of our SEO process that is very,
so
very...
you try to add content that has those searchable phrases?
Yeah, and that's what you're doing? And that's only a portion of it, though. I mean, a lot of people think, oh, just add the content and I'll rank for it. No, then you've got backlinking and you've got all the back end stuff, and to rank for hundreds of keyword phrases would take a massively robust back end. The guy that's my business partner now for me has a back end that's unmatched.
This guy from MIT?
Yes.
You know what my favorite MIT joke is?
Oh, God.
So MIT and Harvard are both in Cambridge, and so there's a guy, and he's got 10 items, and the sign says 9 items or less. So the clerk looks at him and says, well, you're either from Harvard and you can't count, or you're from MIT and you can't read.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell him that joke, but he'll get a good laugh out of it. But I would say 70% are not workable, probably. Does that mean you have to do a full-blown website redo? Maybe, maybe not. If you want us, we need to be able to do the work on your website. And if we can't get in there, if it's on these platforms, we can't do it. And
some people are just like there's some names that are very common, like say Patel, and the website will say Dr. Amit Patel. It's like, dude, you know how many Amit Patels there are?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like some of these dentists, you got to know their first name, middle initial, whether they're DDS, DM. I mean, just to keep going back. Right. It's like they got to have a website, and I'll go back there and just keep adding information. I finally find his website, and you're just like, how would a patient find you?
Yeah. Well, dentists are dentists, and they don't know what they don't know. So I had a dentist the other day that had a family member build his website. Not good. I mean, I understand if you don't have the budget to hire a company to build a custom dental website. I get it. And having a website's better than no website. But really, look at the website. It's your online storefront. It's your brand on the internet. It's the first impression anybody's going to get when they look for your practice or look for a dentist on the internet is your website. If you've got a broken, like you talk about, a broken website or a website that has... Here, let me give you a big pet peeve of mine. And most of the websites are built this way. When you land on a website, you see these huge images that take up the whole entire first fold of that website, right? Of the web page. It's that big. And they're slider images, sliders. So they move. Current website usability says the visitor doesn't want to get shocked by something moving on a website. If they try to start consuming some content, like I'm reading this title, and there it goes. When a person gets agitated on a website, they're gone. And that's going to be reflecting upon your dental practice. If you're the best dentist in the world and you've got a website that agitates people, it doesn't matter. You'll never experience that patient because they're going to hire your competitor. So big slider images, get rid of them. Get rid of them. You're wasting the first fold of a website with an image. Put some of your pertinent information. Put a video of yourself. Put a video of a patient testimonial. Put a couple of testimonials. Put a picture of your team maybe that shows your team. Put something valuable in the first fold of that website. Don't put some backdrop of Camelback Mountain or something. You're a dentist. You're not a landscaper. You're not environmentalist. You're a dentist. Put something that's of benefit to the visitor, so when they land on your website within 5 seconds, they either see what you offer or they know what you're about. If they see some landscaping picture, they're going to wonder if you're a landscaper. And I see that all the time. The people. So
in that video, should it be a YouTube video? Some people think that. You got to think of Google. They own YouTube.
Right.
So if you had a YouTube video, and a lot of people say that. Some people say that the email address for your dental office should be a Gmail because obviously they like that more than Yahoo or AOL or
it doesn't matter. But YouTube, when Google crawls your website and you've got a YouTube code in there, it's a little green check mark. Google said that we like that, we appreciate that.
What about Gmail versus Yahoo?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, email addresses don't matter, especially when it comes to rankings and things like that. That doesn't matter. But let me talk about real quick. So the video, if you had a video on your homepage, it should be of the doctor. And I try to get all of our clients to do this. You can do it with your smartphone, right? Hold it horizontal, get it pretty intimate, talk for 60 seconds, welcome people to the practice, mention a couple of the services that you offer, and at the end of that video, have a call to action that comes out of your mouth on that video. Don't blow it by not inviting people to come into your practice to have a consultation, and don't blow it by not saying your phone number. All that we call that a call to action. Do not ever shoot a video without a call to action at the end. You need to tell the viewer what the next step is for them.
And that is to download the Dentaltown app.
There you go.
Onto your smartphone.
Which I just did. No, I had it on my phone.
You had it on your phone.
But it wasn't open. So you opened it for me. I appreciate that.
And the reason I do that is because I think once you realize there's 250,000 dentists in your pocket, and then on that search bar, which I hope you like that search bar because it cost me $50,000 from Google, but every time you have a question, I know you're too shy to ask, but trust me, every question in dentistry has been asked on Dentaltown 100 times. That's why the lurkers are so much. I mean, if you say I broke a file off in MB2, really, you think you're the first one? I mean, you could read threads for 100 hours on that. Another thing people are saying that the dentist usually puts their hours on of when they're actually treating patients. So they'll say Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5.
Yeah, never Friday. No, I'm kidding.
But, I mean, they don't work Fridays. I mean, most everyone I know is Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. But you have Charlene in there who gets there an hour early, and if she's there early and goes home late, so instead of 8 to 5, if you put on your hours when you're answering calls, that Google, if I'm searching for a dentist and it's 7 o'clock, and there's only 2 dentists in the world, and I'm open at 7, you're open at 8, wouldn't Google throw the search to me? Because why would they throw a search to you?
No.
Why would they deliver up someone that's not even open?
That's a great question. Google would not do that. But I think as time goes on and Google just keeps getting more and more evolved, they will probably do something like that, especially like on mobile devices. But I don't think the Google crawlers are going, this one's at 7, this one's at 8, and we're going to rank that one. And that's not how it works. But that's a great question. If you put in a search like this, Dentist, I'm looking for a dentist in Ahwatukee, open at 7 a.m. If you put that search in, that's a specific search. That's like that long. But if you put a search in like that, then Google would probably, their crawlers would say, we need to find a 7 a.m. dentist.
And a lot of people are saying, a lot of dentists think that since they're dentists, they're thinking you're searching root canals, fillings, crowns, veneers, Invisalign. But a lot of people say that mom is searching who takes her insurance. And that having all the insurances that you participate with on your website is...
Yep. You should have an optimized insurance page for sure. And when you do optimize an insurance page, have a little kind of paragraph of text for each one of the insurance companies, just to really beef up that page and show some value to that page. If you just said, we accept BDDD, and then your competitor says, we accept the same, but we're going to talk about each one a little bit, that just beefs up, that puts more valuable content on that web page for Google. Google loves content. And Google rewards websites that have more content. And that's another thing I should say too, is that two things with most of the websites out there by the cookie cutter companies: duplicate content on all their client websites. And the last podcast I did, I gave out a free tool, and I'm gonna give it to you right now. Copyscape.com. COPYSCAPE. 2 words, copyscape.com. I've given this out the last couple of podcasts I've done. This is going to give a lot of the dentists out there a heart attack. Because what you can do with copyscape.com is go to your website first. Open up 2 tabs, have Copyscape open, have your website open. Go to one of your service pages, veneers, smile makeovers, implants, sedation, whatever. Go up to the address bar, copy and paste that address for your interior service page, right? So it'll be like, www.dentist.com/sleep apnea, whatever. That's an interior page. Copy and paste that. Go put that in Copyscape. Copyscape, there's a free version and a paid version. The free version only shows you a couple of results because they want to suck you in. It's like $10 though, so it really is a valuable tool. But they'll show you like 5 results of exact duplicate content of other websites that have your content. If you get the paid version, you'll see all of them. The typical website that's built by the bigger companies out there right now have over 1,000 duplicate content pages across the internet in the United States. 1,000. So when you type in a porcelain veneer page by some of the bigger companies, there'll be 1,142 duplicate pages.
I do another thing. I don't know if you do this too, but like you'll be on a dentist website and you'll see a picture and you think, that's a great case. I'm just curious if that's his work. So I right click,
search element.
I right click search
File name.
Google image.
Oh, Google image, yep.
I search Google image, and then there's that picture is on 500 places.
Right.
And especially find that on a lot of the dental tourism websites.
Right.
Like come here and do the dentistry, and all the dentistry is plagiarism. I want to, but I still don't feel like they're getting specific. So.
Okay.
Back to case study. What is the average case study? Do you actually build their website? Do you start from scratch with them?
Not necessarily.
But what percent do you say?
I would say 50 to 60%. We've got to start over, and we've got to
over half. You got to start over.
Yeah, and we move them over from the big company, and that can be ugly.
Sure.
Because the big company is going to make it difficult. And
so when they move over, what is the fee for that? The timeline. So over half your clients, you say. You got a cookie cutter thing, duplicate content, 1,000 sites.
Right.
So you're gonna. How much do they give you? You build the site. How long does it take? All that stuff.
The custom websites we build, it all depends on how quickly they get us information we need. Logo, staff images, all that stuff. If they can do that, we can build a custom website in 4 weeks, 6 weeks. The average is probably 2 months because the dentist gets busy and office manager might take 3 or 4 days to send just one image. And you don't want to go live with a website till you really feel like it's done, right? So that can be anywhere between as fast as 4 weeks and as long. We had a dentist and it was not pretty at the end of it. We were on month 6. And my developer said, you know what, we gotta either finish this and he got on me. So
and what does that cost?
We want to talk about costs. Our custom dental websites are one-time investment, $7,000.
Okay, so you build them a custom website.
No additional fees,
for
no nothing.
7,000.
Yep.
And if they get you all this stuff right away, you can get it done in 4 weeks?
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks
Yep.
if you get all the stuff to them.
Yep.
And then the SEO, is that a monthly fee? Is that a contract? You do that?
If you want to get into specifics, and it all varies on competition. So Awatuki, I don't know what the population is, but the American Dental Association did a study a couple years ago, and I love using these statistics. For every 100,000 population, there's 60 to 80 dentists. 60 to 80. Now, that can vary a little bit per location, but that's pretty interesting to know. So one of the first things I do is if people fill out our form on the dentalboost.com website, they fill out our form to set up a phone call with me, personally with me, I'll go look at their population. And I will say this, and this is a disclaimer, Howard, and because you're uncensored, I think it's very important to say this, and the listeners will want to hear this. So, if you're a dentist in a rural area, and there's thousands and thousands of them in the United States, right? Tens of hundreds of, 150,000 dentists, I think. But anyway, so tens of thousands of rural dentists. If you're in a town of 3,000 population, 5,000 population, SEO is really not the right approach for you because nobody's going to go to Google and search for a dentist when there's 2 dentists in some rural town. They're not going to use Google to search. Now, what we're able to do, though, is help our dentists get all the surrounding areas that they draw from. We can get them ranked for those areas, which is a big plus. If they can add up the population of the surrounding areas and it hits 50,000 or more, now we're in the ball game of being able to get some search volume for them. We like to see a combination of 70,000 or above minimum, because now we know there's going to be people searching Google with that population number. But the more population it is, the higher the fees go, because now we've got more resources we have to throw at it to get those rankings. And any dental SEO, any SEO company does that. If it's more competitive, the fees go up. And that's just very, very standard in the industry.
Okay, so some of these dentists, like saying, and I have a good pulse on what they think because I am on the message boards.
Sure.
Several hours a day since 1998. But a lot of people say, you know what, everything you're talking about is just too complicated. Isn't it easier just to buy Google AdWords? If you can't earn the search, isn't it just easier to buy the search, Google AdWords? And do you offer that service too?
Sure. Here's the thing with Google AdWords that people don't understand. Studies have shown Google AdWords drive 10 to 20% of all web traffic for a business. 10 to 20%. That means you're leaving 80% of organic results on the table, right? And depending on how competitive your marketplace, your area, your location is, Google AdWords will be in the thousands of dollars a month for a dentist. And the AdWords, unless it's all optimized with the right landing pages, there's lots that go into AdWords, you're going to spend a lot of money. The ROI on AdWords, it can be there if you've got a good company doing it, but why not own the 80% that's organic? Because a lot of people skip the ads and go right down to organic because they feel like I'm not going to click on these ads. I want a qualified service person, whether it's chiropractor, plumber, whatever, and they skip the ads. But let me tell you something real quick. Google recently, Google's getting evil, and Google's, remember their tagline when they first launched, would they say, "Don't be evil," right? That was their tagline. They're getting kind of evil now because what they're doing is the ads at the top are starting to look like all the organic results except for a little box that says AD for ad. Other than that, it's identical. So they're trying to basically trick people to just feel like they're all the same. But you'll see that little box in the top of each one of those listings, and now Google takes 4 positions. They used to take 3. So the first 4 results on a search page is all ads. Then you might have the maps, but guess what Google's doing with the maps now? Google Maps started at 7. 7 businesses were in the maps. Then it went down to 3. Now rumor has it they're going to throw an ad in the maps. So what are we hearing here? They're trying to cover the whole first page with ads. But guess what? If they will never do it. There will always be organic SEO. So a lot of people say, is SEO dead? No, it's not dead. Is it more challenging? Is it harder for an SEO company to be successful? Yes. But if they went all ads on the homepage, Google would be gone. Bye-bye Google, right? Because people are not going to want to see some search engine with all ads. No way. So they know they can't do all ads, but you can see the trend. They're trying to get more and more ads, and they're trying to get the ads to look like the organic results.
So I hear this, success is counterintuitive. The richest investor in the United States was in Omaha, Nebraska, not in Wall Street, Warren Buffett. So some dentists, they say, I'm in LA, I'm in Manhattan, it's so damn competitive, I'm giving up Google. I'm going to go after like a fringe element like Yahoo and Bing. I'm just going to focus on the Yahoo or Bing. What do you think of that strategy?
It's a fraction of the marketplace. Google owns 80+% of all search. So it's a fraction of the marketplace. And even at that, there's a lot of correlation of all the search engines kind of filtering together. They're not, but there's a correlation there, especially how your website's optimized. So you still might not get the rankings in the other ones anyways, unless you did do Bing ads, if you did the paid ads, but you're getting a fraction of the marketplace.
I'm also hearing this. I'm hearing people say, "Oh, Howard, you're 54, you're an old man, you're a grandpa. I don't even want a website. I just do Facebook." Mm-hmm. That you don't need a website now that there's the mothership Facebook.
Right.
What would you say to that millennial?
I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. There's Facebook marketers out there that would cringe right now because that's what they do for a living. There's some people in dentistry that are big on Facebook marketing, but it all depends on the competition. So how big your population is. If you live in a town of 3,000, Facebook marketing probably isn't going to be that effective, right?
No, I'm not talking about Facebook marketing. I'm saying their only internet presence
is just Facebook page. Oh, no.
They
huge
do
mistake.
Not have a www.todaysdental.com.
Huge mistake.
Well, they're listening to you right now. There's people listening to you right now that say, "I'm not going to do all that. That's old school. That's what old grandpas do."
Yeah, big mistake.
I just have a Facebook page.
Right.
I hear that more and more and more.
And they don't have websites.
30 and under dentists that say, "Yeah, why do you need a website? I just use my Facebook page."
Big mistake.
Okay, but explain to her why.
The reason why is because people are using Google to search for a local service. Over 80% of people looking for a service use the internet. Over 80% of the people use the internet to search for a service. They're going to get on Google. That's the big dog in the world right now, and Google won't.
And it's not going to show them. So let's say your name's Amy in Parsons, Kansas. If you were searching on Google. Dennis in Parsons, Kansas, it's not going to deliver Facebook pages.
A Facebook page can come up. Yep.
A Facebook page can come up.
But if you're in a rural area and there's no competition, that page may come up. If you're in any kind of competitive area, all the websites are going to come up first. A Facebook page isn't going to come up above a website that's optimized. No way. So, yes, if you're in smaller, less competitive areas, a Facebook page, but still, it doesn't provide all the information people are looking for. They want to know all the services. They want to know more about you. They want to see Facebook just isn't built to show all of your practice. It just isn't, all your offerings.
So, a lot of dentists on Dental, in fact, there's a great thread on Dentaltown now saying, who do you hire to write content? You have you want unique content, so you have writers. Yeah,
we've got 6 of the top. I say the top because they're pretty dang good. 6 of the top dental writers in the country that work for me and my company that write, and we use tools like Copyscape. So because a lot of dentists say, well, a veneer page is a veneer page. How do you make it different? Very difficult, very challenging. But we use tools that when our writers write a page, we use tools to make sure that if it's 30 to 40% unique. That's acceptable in Google's eyes. Because remember, if it's
what percent?
If it's 30 to 40% unique and not copied anywhere else, that's acceptable. We push for 60 to 70% unique. 60 to 70%, because 30 to 40% is kind of low.
So you basically
use tools.
If you're writing about a root canal or a crown or veneer, it'd be hard to get 100% unique because
because there's just going to be lots of the phraseology and it's going to be similar. But
one of the problems I always get is people always think that my pictures are so hot that they're all photoshopped. I just want to say they're not. that is the real shit.
Oh God!
And so 30 to 40%.
It's on the low end. Theoretically,
but you shoot for 60 to 70.
60 to 70%, right? And you just plug it into one of your tools.
And how do my homies contact you? Would you just recommend thedentalboost.com or do you do email too?
Oh yeah, you can go Mike at thedentalboost.com. I'm getting pretty busy these days as far as it might take a day or two to respond to an email, but because I spend most of my day on the phone with clients and interested, and then dentists that are interested in hiring us. But you just go to www.thedentalboost.com and they can fill out a little questionnaire that lets us know a little bit about them, and they can schedule a phone call with me personally, and I'll go over the situation and we'll talk. We'll see if we're a good fit and if we can help them. And we're excited about what we're doing. We feel like we're taking an approach that isn't being done right now, especially in the SEO sector for dentists. It's just not being done. And one thing we didn't cover really quickly is this: that dentists that are looking to attract more of the high-end patients, Invisalign, sleep apnea, sedation. We're really going after those markets. We're really aggressively going after those segments. So if a dentist really wants to attract a certain high, caliber patient, like those markets, sleep apnea, sedation, cosmetic, implants, we're getting very, very good at that. Very good at that.
So I want to ask, I'm on your website now, thedentalboost.com. So she's driving down to work. She should be looking at the road.
Yeah, not on the phone.
But if she was to pull up thedentalboost.com, what would she find on your website?
Well, she'd find the button almost right away. She would see it. They would see a button that they could click to fill out the online survey, the online questionnaire, right away.
Okay, I want to ask you the reverse of what she's thinking right now. This is what she's really thinking. Podcasters are young; they're under 30, and I love saying it. I'm going to say it every show.
Yeah, because
every time I say that,
we're the old guys.
Some old guy will email me, and I love those old man emails. Yesterday was amazing. It was a guy from Tucson. He was like 72. I thought that was so cool.
72.
Yeah, wow. And he says, "Big fan of your show," and blah blah blah. But anyway, she's actually asking the reverse. She's saying, "Okay, look, I walked out of school. We didn't place an implant. We didn't do an Invisalign case. We didn't do anything. And there's all these things to do, but she knows business is supply and demand. So based on what you're searching, turn that upside down and tell her what she should learn how to be providing. I mean, are there more searches for Invisalign or sleep apnea? Is it more veneers or pediatric dentistry?
It depends on the marketplace that they're in. Every area has a different demographic, we call it, right? And it could be your retired community. Well, implants, dentures, even smile makeovers. They've got some discretionary income. Other areas could be family-oriented areas, right? So the area you place your dental practice in is going to kind of dictate what your demographic is and what you can go after. That doesn't mean you can't go after the high-end services, Invisalign, things like that, but your demographic kind of dictates what you're going to really get from that marketplace. And every demographic's different. In rural, you can get some big cases from rural, right? Just imagine, right? Full mouth restorations. You can get some big, because some of these people in the rural areas haven't seen a dentist in 20 years.
And
sedation cases.
I grew up rural, and every single dentist I know that Walmart will sell off areas of their parking lot because they want it to be a more of a destination.
Right.
On Friday night, there's nothing to do in the middle of nowhere, so a lot of them go into town, which is the Walmart, and next to that might be ice cream restaurants, things like that. But every single dentist I know that ever went into a Walmart parking lot in the rural was getting 200 to 300 new patients a month. But here's what they tell you: they go, when you're in Phoenix, you can spend all your money today. But when you're out there in the middle of a cornfield, 2 hours from an airport, they have a lot of money for dentistry because there's not a lot of temptation taking all their money.
And that's the exciting part about rural dentists is that, you really can't, and we get calls all the time from dentists that are multi-million-dollar practices that are in rural areas.
Yeah. And
I look at the population and being a marketing guy, I'm like, wow, 5,000 people, 1.9 million for their practice in gross revenues.
I know.
What the heck?
I've been hammering that point. I think this is.
And you talk to some dentists that are in competitive areas, and they're 1.1 million or 900,000 compared to the rural one, and you go.
Iowa has a program. They have a list of cities. The last time I checked, they said there's like 15 towns on that don't have a dentist. And if you go there, the state of Iowa will give you $100,000. Delta Dental of Iowa will match the $100,000.
Wow.
Then when you go to that town, the mayor's like, okay, there's like 6 empty buildings on the corner of First Street and Main. Do you want one of these buildings?
Take your
pick. Now
pick.
it's yours.
Yep.
So they have no land payment, no building payment, $200 in cash, no other dentist. So you're not on any PPOs, Medicaid, and then that kid 25 years old, first year out of school, will collect $1 million and take home 350 or 400, and they say, no, I'm going to do a residency in downtown New Orleans, or I'm going to go join the Army.
The rural areas. There's a huge opportunity.
Oh my
huge.
God! And I raised 4 boys, and I mean, you know how many times the police knock on my door because they're riding their motorcycles on the street or their go-karts.
Right.
In the rural, you could ride a motorcycle with a 12-gauge shotgun.
Right.
You know, I mean, anyway, yeah, just go rural. Just go rural.
There you go.
And,
there you go.
And probably a great place to start a family, you know.
Yeah, true. I mean, better quality of life for sure.
Yeah. So, so half the people, you say we got to start the website from scratch. And so you build a website, 7,000, takes 4 to 6 weeks. Then I'll talk about the other half. Mm-hmm. They call up and why is there, because they were wondering right now, are you going to scratch my website? The other half, you accept their website and say, I'm just going to add content to it for the SEO?
We're just going to start our SEO services. All the different elements that we do on the back end, which we don't want to mention all of them.
So that would be more likely that he didn't have a cookie cutter approach.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Most dentists almost every dentist I know, I say, well, who built your website? And they say, I don't even know. I was at the Arizona State Dental Association meeting 10 years ago, and I stopped by a booth, and they did it. I don't
Whipped out the credit card.
And a lot of them don't even know who did it. They're just like, I did that. So a lot of them are thinking, I already did that. So I want you to talk to them right now. I want you to give them some real world deals. They bought their website 10 years ago. They don't even look at their own website. Just like when someone asks me, they don't look at their website.
Right.
Most of these guys probably haven't looked. They bought it 10 years ago. When he gets to work, and he's 40, and he walks in and he's gonna sit down. What should he look at his website to know if that 10-year-old website is a dud or if it's still good?
Well, a couple of things right off the bat. Look at it like how fast or slow it loads, because.
And what should he be looking at, the desktop or this iPhone?
Both.
Okay.
Look at the desktop, look at the iPhone, both, or the Android, whatever it is. But see how fast it loads. If it loads really slow, then you got an issue, because now there is a small ranking factor with Google on how fast a website loads, because they know from a usability standpoint, if somebody has to sit there for 3 or 4 or 5 seconds and it doesn't look like a website's even coming up, they're going to hit the back button. That's considered a bad user experience for Google, and Google is going to ding you for that in your rankings. So that's number one. Number two is, can they get the information they're looking for quickly? And the information would be, where's the dentist located? Is the phone number readily available? I don't want to have to search for that phone number. And that's one immediate thing I tell every dentist. Your phone number should be in the same spot of that web page on every page. It should be big, to where people, they can see it in the corner of their eye. They know where it's at. That's one less worry from a usability standpoint for the visitor is, okay, I know where the phone number is. Now let me just read their content, because I know it's right there. But if it's not up there big, and it's over on the, some web design company wanted to get cute and make it different, and it's over on the left-hand side, and it's got dots instead of the dashes, to make it look contemporary. Wrong. You have to simplify web usability, because remember, you're building the website for the visitor. You're not building it for you, right? You're not building it for you, the dentist, or the dentist's wife who wants to see a pretty website. The bottom line is, you're building a website for somebody to land on it, pick up the phone, and call the practice. If they don't do that, then you better change your website or take a look at why they're not doing that. And there's lots of things that we call conversion elements, and I'll give you a couple of them. Every web page on a dental website should have what we call a call to action. Call our office today, and the phone number. And it should be in 3 or 4 spots on every single page, right? Because people consume content. They might only consume maybe the first paragraph. And maybe after that first paragraph, they feel like, hey, I'm ready to go. Then serve up that phone number, that call to action right there on the web page, right there. First paragraph, phone number, right? Further down, another phone number. At the bottom, another phone number. And dentists might be like, oh, that's too salesy. Well, then you're not going to get the phone call.
And plus, she's probably going to be doing that while she's driving the car.
Yes. Right.
I mean, I quit road biking because it was just too creepy. I mean, I used to go to Maricopa and back, and we leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. You see that blue hue. Yep. Every third car is like that.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, I don't want to be roadkill because someone. So if they had a call button, she just hit it with her thumb.
There it is. Done. No looking, no scrolling anymore to look for it.
So I want to talk about. Do you kind of consider an SEO optimized website part of your digital marketing for new patients?
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay, so
Huge.
but how huge is that compared to? Because you might be thinking, well, I was going to do a Facebook ad campaign or start a Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, social media, Snapchat,
Right.
whatever. How do you compare the total weight or value of a good website and good SEO versus all the social media? I mean, there's a lot of people out there saying build your practice on Facebook and Twitter
Right.
and LinkedIn and
Right.
Pinterest
Yeah.
and-
Nobody's gonna hire a dentist off Twitter. Let's get that. And Twitter is dying anyways. Twitter. I'm on a fair bit. I think I have 14,000 followers, something like that. And I tweeted you this morning. But overall, the young kids. Now, my daughter is 18 at ASU. She's on Twitter a lot.
I'm sorry to hear that. Your life is that your oldest daughter?
No, I got a son who's going to be a software engineer who's a senior at ASU. So I got 2 kids in college.
My 4 boys were all perfect until freshman year of college.
Until freshman.
And then the shit hit the fan.
I've got a straight-laced boy. This boy you couldn't be more straight-laced. I don't know where it came from. My daughter is a Phoenix Suns dancer at 18, so she's on television as we speak, dancing at half times the Phoenix Suns basketball games. So I'm very proud of her for that. She's almost a professional dancer, but so that's a lot of fun to see her do that. But overall, it's when you think of dentistry, it's a multi-channel approach. So is Google the key to the kingdom? It's a big part of it.
How big of a part? Your website and Google, what percent of that?
70 to 80%.
70 to 80. So you would say all the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest.
Forget Twitter, forget LinkedIn. I mean, who's going to hire a dentist off LinkedIn? LinkedIn's B2B anyways, right? So it's not LinkedIn. Pinterest, maybe the mom that's looking at orthodontists and the orthodontist, if they use Pinterest the correct way.
Is Pinterest dying too?
I don't spend a lot of time on Pinterest, so it's mostly females that are on Pinterest, right? And it's mostly beauty, cooking. That's what Pinterest is known for.
I think it's funny because everyone on every dentist I follow on Pinterest is a woman. I mean, it's almost all women, and half their pictures are about how to lose 5 pounds and what exercises.
Sure. Oh yeah, beauty, health and
then
beauty.
the other half are all how to make brownies and fudges and ice cream.
There you go.
So this is very
So Pinterest it wouldn't be it, but Facebook for sure. It's a multi-channel approach, and Facebook. The great way to use Facebook is what we call retargeting, where if somebody lands on your website and you put the retargeting pixel, I don't want to get too geeky, on your web page. That's a way, because a lot of people aren't going to take action the first time they land on your website. They're not going to take action. You don't want to lose them. If you put that retargeting pixel, you can actually show them ads.
The Facebook logo?
The Facebook retargeting code. And then if people are back on Facebook, they're going to see your little dental ad. And they're going to go, boy, I was just on that website, and it's going to be top of mind awareness. That's marketing. And they always say that it's 7 touch points before somebody takes an action. That's a ballpark, by the way. But retargeting is a way to get your ad on Facebook when the person lands on the website, gets distracted, which everybody does, and leaves the website, and they go back on Facebook, and there's your ad, and they go,
so you pay for that then? So you pay
for that, but retargeting ads are a lot more economical than the straight up Facebook ad. If you ran a Facebook ad and then you had a retargeting ad, the retargeting ad is going to be a fraction of the cost of that main ad.
And you're buying that through Facebook or
through Facebook,
or Google?
Through Facebook.
So on Facebook, you buy retargeting ads.
Yes.
From Facebook users who use your website
that have landed on your website. Yep. Yeah. You get your.
And another question on Facebook people ask is there's 2 things. There's you posted something and there's a button there to boost it.
Boost the post.
And then there's another area where you create an ad.
An ad, right.
Well, what's the difference between boosting a post
boosting doesn't give you near the options as far as audiences and really getting targeted. A boost is just a quick little hit the button. You can pick some audiences. But we've got some clients right now that have shot some phenomenal videos in their areas. Phenomenal. Boosted the post, got a bunch of views, no actions. So it wasn't targeted enough. When you do the Facebook ads, you can get very, very targeted. So the difference is it's just a quickie. Now, is it worth it to boost a post? Sure. But video is the best post to boost on Facebook. Video. Facebook is really moving over now to video. So if you've got like a patient testimonial or you've got a question and answer video where you answer the 2 most common questions of veneers. Those would be great to boost because that's just awareness in your area. So if you boost that, you're going to get people seeing you. There's those touch points we talked about, right? And $10 to boost a post. So your business expense to boost that post is $10.
My litmus test for who's going to be successful, I mean, I give Google money. I give Facebook money. I've never given Twitter money,
No.
LinkedIn money.
No.
How are these viable business? How is Twitter a viable business?
It's not.
Have you ever given them $1?
Never.
I've never given them $1.
Never given to LinkedIn. And in LinkedIn, there are a lot of dentists on LinkedIn that I'm connected with, but I've never done a LinkedIn ad ever.
So how do they stay in business? So you're and that's why I thought the Snapchat valuation was insane. It's like,
Yeah,
how can
it's
you be worth
crazy.
$27 billion when I don't know anyone who's ever given you $1?
Well, it's pure volume. It's eyeballs, right? And that's how all these companies have sold for billions of dollars. It's the eyeballs that particular platform drew to them, and people equate eyeballs to dollars. But what happens is on a lot of those platforms, now we're going to get away from dentistry, but a lot of those platforms, as you start throwing more and more ads into it, guess what happens? People get annoyed. They go, you know what? I'm tired of seeing these ads. I'm out of here. That platform's gone. That multi-billion-dollar platform could be gone. MySpace. You know, I mean, nobody would have thought in the heyday of MySpace that they would ever be gone. Gone.
And then Friendster.
Friendster, same thing. So,
Yeah.
but when companies have to make money, they do an IPO and they become public, they have to make money for their shareholders. The only way they make money is what? Through ads.
Yeah.
And when you start littering a platform with ads that didn't have them before, you are potentially sabotaging all those people.
I still didn't even get why Facebook went public. I mean, I never got that because usually you go public because you're either getting old and you're selling,
Yeah.
and transition and your errors and all that stuff, or you're raising capital to build something. They're already built. They're already profitable.
Right.
I always wonder, why didn't Mark just want to have a private company and not have to deal with all that noise?
Yeah, he could have kept it private, and I think they still would have made probably some pretty good money. But overall, the Facebook public offering and what's happened to their stocks so far, pretty huge. Pretty
Yeah,
huge.
but,
I mean, it's
he's
huge.
just a baby. I mean,
Oh,
he's-
I know.
He's only, he's still a
Oh,
kid.
he's worth what?
But
80
he's
billion?
got to. But his whole life, he's going to be hooked to these Wall Street.
Oh, for
boys
sure. Oh, yeah.
that it's
he
got to
gave-
be paid.
Yeah,
It's got to be paid.
He gave
Yeah.
in, so now it's
Yeah.
all about how much money can they make.
Yeah, and it's like, why the long term that versus just being public. I mean, he would have had all the money he ever wanted.
Sure. Well, and Facebook really, I don't want to make a prediction because all the Facebook marketers are going to say, who is this guy? But Facebook could be a shadow of itself in 5 years.
Could be a shadow?
of itself in 5 years. Just because, a lot, when you look at people that are on Facebook, it's almost like high school all over again. It's a popularity contest, right?
Yeah.
People post, where they're at. I'm flying here. Here's my meal I'm eating at. Here's the drink I'm having. And a lot of people, they value their own worth on how many likes they get on Facebook, right? And a lot of people, and you've probably done this, I'll watch somebody like in line at a grocery store, and they're on Facebook. They're hitting the like button, not even looking what they're liking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so what is that? What value is
what
that?
killed Facebook for me is, again, that last election we had. It's like, I just think it's all noise. I always thought
It is noise.
I always
Yeah.
thought, that all those dentists posting all that stuff about the last election, and I know these people. And if you said to any of them, what was your return on equity last year? What was your return on asset? What was your overhead? What percentage your supplies? You ask them. I mean, the man in the mirror is who they should be focusing on,
Sure.
and they're
Not all
focusing
this-
on Putin and
Yeah.
North
Yep.
Korea and Trump, and it's like, dude, if you spent 80% of your time solving
on-
the problems with that dodo bird in the mirror,
Yep.
I mean, how? I mean,
You double your
why?
business.
And they think they're so smart on this international policy.
Sure.
It's like, dude, you don't even have an HR manual. You don't have an HR manual, but you spend all day backseat driving Trump and Obama and Putin.
Focus on your business.
Yeah, I know.
Stay
It's like, my God.
Well, that's the bummer about the internet and social platforms is ADD kicks in very quickly. You just get distracted all day long, and a lot of people.
I want to ask you another question that causes a lot of pain on Dentaltown. again, back to that search deal. Go in there sometime and just search Yelp.
Oh, I'm gonna get on Dentaltown. I'm gonna put it in my pocket today.
But if you do a search for Yelp, every thread that involves Yelp, there's dentists that don't like Yelp.
Yeah, Yelp.
So what's your views on Yelp?
I would say Yelp is evil. No,
Yeah,
well, Yelp. They've had lots of multi-million-dollar lawsuits against them. They handcuff small business owners to pay them money to show the ads. And half the time, I've been on the phone with dentists and clients and dental prospects that say, we use Yelp all the time. And I'll go in there and I'll do I don't want to get too geeky, but I'll do an incognito in Chrome, which takes all the personalization out of it. Doesn't matter where you're located. And I'll pull up their location, city, dentist, and I'll go, I don't see you anywhere. And I refresh the window, and their ads aren't showing, and they're paying $300-400 a month. So that's not a lot of money for a business to spend. But they go, what do you mean? And I go, I've hit refresh 6 times, and I still don't see your ad. So what's Yelp doing? What are they taking your money for, right? So Yelp handcuffs small bit, and then they also filter a lot of reviews. What good is it for a business owner to really work hard to get legitimate reviews, not fake reviews that a lot of these businesses pay for, legitimate reviews, but if you're not a Yelper, they'll filter that review. Because I've been on Yelp, I can do a review and it gets posted immediately. And I've done it for local businesses, positive and negative. I've done some negative ones and it's on now. So because I've used the platform, Yelp says he's legit, we'll post a review. If you launch a Yelp account, and you're brand new at Yelp, your review will never show. They will filter it all day long.
See, my problem with
Which
Yelp
is terrible.
Is that, I love that book, what was it, by, Peter Lynch, Beating the Street.
Oh, yeah.
And it was one of the most profound books. And I went to Creighton, where Omaha was, where Warren Buffett was, who came and spoke to our Business 101 class. And I want to tell you, I should tell you, because it was crazy, because when I first heard him speak, my question, I was 1980, I was all excited about the Nifty 50 and Xerox and all these high techs. And I said, do you own the Nifty 50? He goes, I don't own one of them. And I thought, you're a dumb old man. And he said, if you can't explain on a 5x7 business card how you make money, I'm not interested. And he had all these
5x7,
companies.
I love it.
And he had all these companies, and I just thought, you're crazy. Mm-hmm. And if I just would have dropped out of school right then and gave him my tuition money for that semester, I'd be a gazillionaire.
Right.
And I've never seen a person use Yelp.
Yeah, Yelp.
I have never been in 54 years. I've never been at a table, in a car, in a group where someone said, "Oh, let's eat here, or let's go drink here," because of Yelp.
Again, no predictions, but it's my opinion on one data point. But Yelp's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. They're not going to be around for much longer. I want to
ask one last question. You promised me an hour of your life. We're already at an hour or two. They're probably pulling up to work. But again, back to on Dentaltown. They'll get a bad review, and I swear to God, they'll emotionally. I mean, they're at the edge. Some of these guys are starting to put rope around this chandelier. They go crazy when there's, and then some of them say, "I'm going to get a lawyer, sue, blah blah."
Yep.
So what's the reality about a bad review? I mean, will one bad review on Google hurt your new patient flow?
Well, it depends on how many total reviews you have. If you've got enough to kind of like filter that one out, you've got. Because remember this too, everybody knows that people get emotional. It's just human nature. So if you've got 10 5-star reviews, great dentist, love my dentist, love my dentist, love my dentist. Boy, this dentist screwed me, and there's one. Everybody's going to take that one and discount it for sure. I mean, there's no way. Again, my opinion, I don't think that's going to affect the dentist. If the dentist has 2 reviews and one is 1-star horrible, that could bury the business. I mean, that could really, really hurt a dentist. If people are on Google and they look at the review, that dentist is never going to get hired by that person on Google, ever. But so it really is important to try to get, a handful of good Google reviews. And, people with a little tip here, and we talked about, you mentioned Gmail accounts. One easy way to get legitimate Google reviews. Now, Google doesn't want you to go out and ask for reviews. Well, come on. But if you've got some, loyal patients that have Gmail email addresses, just ask them. They're on Google anyways. They got a Gmail account.
What I don't understand is there's dentists on Dentaltown that have no reviews, yet they've posted 5 times about how they get so tired of doing free dentistry on their sister, their aunt. There's threads on Dentaltown where dentists want to move literally across the country because they're doing free dentistry on 50 people.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
I'm like, dude, how are you doing free dentistry on 50 family members and you don't even have one review?
Right.
Can you just say, okay,
can you give me a
Matilda,
review?
if I'm going to do
ask the family,
a free crown, you better write me a review.
And now make sure they got a different last name.
Right.
So hopefully it's a daughter-in-law or it's a son-in-law or it's
Right.
a cousin or something. But because if you do have the same name, that could raise a little bit of skepticism.
Just have him don't write the review. I love the way he does free dentistry on me. Free dentistry. Oh god. You might want to scan that review. But so the best way to get a hold of you is thedentalboost.com or email.
Mike at thedentalboost.com. Yep.
Thedentalboost.com, Mike at thedentalboost.com. Mike, thank you so much for coming over to my house today.
Thank you very, very, very much having me. It was an honor. We've been kind of trying to get this to work for a while. You sent me an email, and you sent me that text at like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, Howard, text. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's go do it.
We've been trying to do this for 2 years. I want to get
time.
on the show. The show's 2 years old.
I appreciate it.
And he's come down to Dentaltown, and he's consulted. He's helped us at Dentaltown.
Yeah, had your marketing
with
group.
SEO. He's lectured. I've walked into Dentaltown when he's there on the whiteboard talking to my marketing.
Yeah,
group.
that was a lot of fun.
And I appreciate that. But and I hope you get your podcast.
I'm going to do it today.
App,
I'm going to get my assistant to do it today.
And if you're a dental podcaster, dude, put it. I mean, why would you put it on iTunes for free and not Dentaltown for free? Because so many of those dentists found the show Other Dental Podcasts on the Dentaltown app, and then they usually already have a way they do their podcast with us.
How many total people are in Dentaltown? Because I know it's a huge number.
I think it's 275. It's over a quarter. It's over 200. It's over a quarter million.
See that right there tells me that your vertical, Dentaltown vertical, as opposed to iTunes. I agree with you. Every dentist that has a podcast, I'm doing it.
But
sure.
I forgot to also ask. I'm
That's
very
amazing.
clear. The internet and iTunes doesn't know nationality. Do you only do clients from the United States? Can you do clients from other countries?
Of course, absolutely. We can do it international for sure. We don't have too many international clients in Canada. I just had a gentleman yesterday that said he was going to hire us, and then did the Canadian dollar to the American dollar, and he said, "Oh crap." It's X more, so Canadian dollar's not doing well right now in the U.S. And I think he's still going to go with us, but it was substantially higher because of the Canadian dollar.
Here's when this show started to explode. I couldn't get my head around the size of it, but then I finally figured out
how many countries you're in.
North and South America, the Americas combined plus Australia and New Zealand is only 1 billion. Just Africa is 1 billion. Just Europe's 1 billion. Just India's 1 billion. Just China's 1 billion, and there's 7.5 billion. And we've lectured like in the last year. I've lectured in.
Oh, I've seen you all over the place.
All over.
Oh my gosh!
But this show is, Asia.
Global.
Asia is bigger than North and South America.
Oh, we would love to have international clients.
Yeah,
and I'd love to have an excuse to have to go over there.
Yeah.
Right? So anybody that wants me to go over there and maybe consult with you guys, let me know. I'd love to have an excuse. Nice
Asia's
write-off.
one of those countries where every time you go, you're like, do I have to come back? I so love this lifestyle. But thanks again for coming over.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
all right, buddy.
it.
Thank you.